It's Wednesday, the 24th of July, 2024. Welcome to the Fast 5 Business News by Fear and Greed, where we give you the top 5 business stories you need to know in just 5 minutes. I'm Michael Thompson, and good morning, Sean Aylmer.
Good morning, Michael.
Sean, 5 big stories to get through this morning. Let's go. Story number 1. 4 alleged ringleaders of one of the country's largest pump and dump schemes have been charged with conspiracy to commit market rigging and false trading. This, Sean, really is Wolf of Wall Street type stuff, isn't it?
It sure is. The 4 were charged in Downing Centre local court in Sydney and also charged with dealing with the proceeds of crime in relation to the money allegedly obtained from the scheme. They face a maximum of 15 years jail or up to $1 million in fines. Now, Telegram's an instant messaging service, and a Telegram group is a chat room where people communicate either in the open or in public. ASIC alleges the 4 were the admin group of the ASX Pump and Dump Group Telegram channel. A few years back, 2021, ASIC warned the members that they were engaging in illegal activity, and the regulator has been chasing members of the Telegram channel ever since. ASIC claims hundreds of members were attempting to manipulate the share price of ASX-listed small caps, mostly resource stocks. The regulator alleges the share prices of those companies soared, some up to almost 100%, before collapsing.
Can you explain how it all works?
Yes, the nub of it is that pump and dump schemes manipulate the market and are illegal. Mostly they work by brokers or groups artificially inflating the price of a stock they own. They might put out misleading positive statements, for example, or chat rooms might talk up a stock into a bit of a frenzy. That's the pump part. When the share price rises, those same people sell, booking a tidy profit. That's the dump part. The poor investor who listened to the misleading statements or group chats and acted on them, they end up being the losers. Very Wolf in Wall Street, Michael. Very Wolf in Wall Street.
Yeah, it sure is. All right, on to story number 2 now. The Fair Work Commission will conduct a fundamental review of part-time employment rules to establish a standard model in awards. It also wants to determine a new working from home clause in the Clerks Award that could be a model, Sean, to operate across industries.
The review comes after a smaller inquiry initiated last year by the Albanese government couldn't find consensus among employers and unions, according to a report in The Australian. Commission President Adam Hatcher said the part-time employment review to commence next year will examine daily and weekly minimum hours of work for part-time employment and the circumstances in which working hours might be altered and additional hours may be worked. Now, after the smaller inquiry, the Commission came out and said in general terms, employer organisations sought greater flexibility and the ability to unilaterally alter hours of work, while unions focused on greater predictability for employees and worker control over part-time hours of work.
On to story number 3 now. Woodside Energy's share price fell 4% yesterday after it said the cost of its massive Scarborough LNG project in Western Australia will cost an extra $500 million.
Huge, these projects. It takes the cost of developing Scarborough to $12.5 billion, not far off 20 billion Aussie dollars. Woodside's up for about 2/3 of that. The first gas is scheduled for 2026. Now, the cost increase was blamed on scope maturation of the Pluto Train 1 project. That's basically one of the 2 train projects they've got. It'll take gas from the offshore field and process it for export. The project is massive. It's 375 kilometres off the Pilbara coast of WA. It's 2/3 complete. The gas will be extracted, then piped 430 kilometres to an onshore facility. When fully operational, it's expected to produce around 8 million tonnes of gas per annum. Massive, Michael.
Indeed it is. Story number 4, Vice President Kamala Harris is virtually assured of being the Democrats' nominee in the presidential poll, lining up against Donald Trump after picking up more than enough pledged delegates in just 48 hours.
Yes, she has a tight stranglehold on the job and no one is coming out to oppose her. She's already campaigning in battleground states. She was due to appear in Wisconsin overnight. She's hinted at how she might attack Donald Trump, referring to her past pursuing predators and fraudsters. That, of course, is when she was the San Francisco District Attorney and Californian Attorney General. Speculation now is about her running mate, with a number of state governors considered attractive options. Ms. Harris's supporters say she'll mobilise younger and more liberal voters, consolidate black support, and bring sharp debating skills against Mr. Trump. Others fear her race and gender will work against her.
All right, last one. Story number 5. Police are locking down large sections of Paris ahead of the Olympic Games as France, which is, of course, familiar with terrorist attacks, wrestles with security in temporary venues.
Paris is Europe's most densely populated capital. It's home to people of many cultures. Now, one of the biggest challenges is the opening ceremony on Friday night Paris time. About 80 boats are carrying athletes along the Seine flanked by some 320,000 spectators, residential buildings on both sides. There'll be a central perimeter accessible only to pre-registered guests. Now, they'll all undergo body searches, according to the FT. Bomb squads will comb the Sands bridges, many of which will be closed. Military units will occupy rooftops to combat possible drone strikes, also concerns about cyber attacks. The security challenge in Paris is huge. It'll cost about 335 million euros. That's about 550 million Aussie.
That is significant. There we go. The top 5 business stories in 5 minutes. Thank you, Sean.
Thank you, Michael.
It is Wednesday, the 24th of July, 2024. Remember to hit follow on the podcast. If 5 minutes isn't enough, you can find our longer daily show called Fear and Greed wherever you listen to podcasts or at fearandgreed.com.au, which is also where you can sign up for our free weekly newsletter, which actually comes out today, mid-morning. So jump onto that one right now. I'm Michael Thompson, and that was the Fast 5 Business News by Fear and Greed. Have a great day.